Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a home edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, where Brock, Rock, and Wine is coming up 3 weeks from Saturday, July 27th, inside of LSU's Tiger Stadium. Tons of wine, food, live music in the South Stadium Club at Tiger Stadium. Look forward to seeing you there. Get your tickets at brortho.com, brortho.com. Of course, Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. And Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. As a matter of fact, the reason that I'm up early and on my, or I say early, it's somebody at 7:30, it's when we always do the show. The reason we're on our normal schedule here today is because I am going to see Crystal Poche at 9 o'clock. So we'll do morning scone here, and then I'm going to see Crystal to work on my back. So, and I am, it's interesting how things work out sometimes. I almost threw my back out while we're at the beach, carrying Drew around, all kind of stuff. I could feel it like it was close. And we get in the car and we're driving home on Monday. And I mean, we weren't so we did morning scone right in the car. And then within 30 minutes, Crystal texted me, "Hey, had Wednesday open up. If you're interested," I'm like, "Yes, I'll take it. Book me." Sometimes the Lord is watching over us. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get started. Hope you're having a great start to the day. Ryan Kuchrak entered the transfer portal. So the portal window closed yesterday, Tuesday. So we now have the final tally for LSU players hitting the transfer portal, and Thatcher Hurd, who we talked about yesterday here on the show, because I believe that happened either late Monday evening or Tuesday morning. I don't remember, but Thatcher Hurd went into the portal, and I shared my thoughts with you on Thatcher Hurd. I still think he signs. I went and looked it up. MLB.com currently has Hurd rated as the number 114 overall prospect. Talked to a buddy of mine who's a scout for a National League team, told me that he's got Hurd as a fourth rounder. So, I mean, let's just look this up real quick for slot value. MLB draft slot values 2024. So the number 114 overall pick would be a slot value of $637,200. So if Hurd gets that or near that, he's going to sign and he's going to go start his pro career. You enter the portal really just as a fallback plan in case if something goes screwy and haywire in the draft, you give yourselves options. He could come back to LSU or he could go somewhere where they have more of a need. So Hurd entering was just a fallback plan. Ryan Kuchrak entering the portal really stinks. He was just finished his freshman year, only played in 16 games, struck out 5 times and 12 at bats. So not great. Good defensive shortstop. He's out of Arizona, and Kuchrak going to the portal just really thins out your infield numbers even more. I mean, Tommy White's going to the draft. Y'all know my feeling that Bear Jones is going to get drafted and sign. You obviously lost Brady Neal to the portal. You've lost Milazzo and Travinsky to graduation, and we're keeping an eye on what happens with Braswell. So really, your only infielder returning is Stephen Milam, and Kuchrak was going to be a guy we all assumed would have competed for one of the jobs on the infield with Milam and then whoever else you brought in. Now, I would say if you're Jay Johnson, your best option is going to be bringing back Michael Braswell. And so that's one with the draft where I think you're going to look at it and say, okay, if Braswell is an end of the draft guy who gets 80 to 100K offered to him, can you scrap together that in NIL and bring him back for another season so you maintain your middle infield there with Milam and Braswell, and then you go find a third baseman? And we've told you some of the names, right? You're still after Caden Kent, White Hensler, the Penn graduate who is current Texas A&M commit, but with Gavin Grahovac coming back to Texas A&M, does Hensler maybe back off that? I don't know. And then Gavin Killeen is another option you're still in the mix for, the shortstop from Louisville, and remains to be seen where he lands. But if you land Gavin Killeen, it changes that whole conversation about Braswell. But if you don't, then at this point, I haven't heard what Gavin Killeen is going to do, but I also know that Zach Root is a guy who LSU, before I left for vacation, felt really confident they were going to get. And he ended up at Arkansas. I had a conversation yesterday. Apparently, Arkansas is spending. And, it's so interesting how it's changed because 2 years ago, LSU had the biggest NIL budget in baseball, and that is not the case anymore, clearly. And, the allure of 7 national titles in Alec Box Stadium and the greatest fans in the country and all that stuff will get you a conversation and a visit from any player. But how many of these players are the deciding factor is going to be just the highest bidder. If that's the case, you're going to lose a lot of these recruiting battles. So, we'll see. It's interesting too, because I remember in the last 2 years, I would say often, and this upset a lot of LSU fans. I mean, I would get tweets and text messages and DMs all the time about this. It upset a lot of you when I kept saying LSU doesn't have the money that a lot of the schools do. It's been an expensive few years. You're buying out Ed Ogeron and paying Brian Kelly and paying Kim Mulkey and paying Jay Johnson and on and on. You'll know. And now you got to pay the players. A lot of y'all didn't like when I said that. I think now the more we get into the NIL era, more of you understand, like, I wasn't making that up. So, I mean, the good news is LSU has continued to fundraise for NIL. They've continued to build their collective, which is great. But the flip side of it is so have other programs who are already outpacing you. So, work to do. All right. Trivia Carter, good morning. Spurge, good morning. Abner Neal, good morning. Caleb, good morning, Matt. Any possible other quality pitchers in the portal after missing on Root? Also, news on Kent needs some infield help. Yeah, again, nothing on the infielders, just kind of touched on that a bit. And as for pitchers in the portal, the name to watch that I'm continuing told is Matthew Dallas, the lefty from Tennessee. 6'5", just finished his freshman year, didn't pitch a ton, but a good arm talent from the left side, 93, 95 from the left side. And that's one I'm told that LSU likes a lot and could very well add. And you've got, you've done well in the portal with arms. Bringing in Chandler Dorsey, who's really, your closer next year from South Florida. Zach Cohen coming in, who can certainly be an innings eater for you. Devin Sheeran, who is one of the top arms in the draft, a guy that throws 98 from the right side. You've done well in the portal with arms. Jacob Myers from Nichols. You got arms. You got arms. You had Matthew Dallas. I'd feel great about that too. What you need to address now is your infield for certain. Wendell Norman, Hunter Picard, good morning. Morning, Matt. Aaron Judge going crazy this year. It's really fun to watch, man. I know not everybody really cares, and I was watching the game last night too, where LeBron signed a new deal. 2 years, 104. Just saw that. I was watching the game last night. Yanks got down 5-0 and put up a 3 spot in the 6th. They came up just short, lost 5-4. But yes, Aaron Judge is incredible. It's like a couple of years ago when he set the AL home single season home run record. That was a lot of fun to watch that. Last year, the Yankees were not fun to watch. This team is fun to watch again. Brian Penn, good morning from Brownsville, Tennessee. Dale, we miss Crystal. Hey, man. Y'all know how I feel about Crystal, man. I've told you about Crystal Poche for years now. Restored motions. If you got pain, book a session. I'm telling you. I had a buddy of mine text me while I was on vacation. Who knows that I've had back pain and everything. He said, "Hey, man, I have this awful sciatica thing going on, and it's at the point where I just can't deal with the pain anymore. I've tried PT. Like, what do you do? What do I do?" So I sent him the Crystal. So I think he booked a session. I can't wait to see how it goes. I mean, I know how it's going to go, but I can't wait to hear him tell me how it went. Tiger Diver, hey, Ronnie Dugas, good morning, man. Hope you're well. Cliff, awesome people born today. Me, awesome people born in July. Drew and Matt. There you go, Cliff. Happy birthday, man. Love that. And by the way, Cliff and Eli Anderman, my nephew Eli, is July 4th. He's tomorrow. And then E-Rock is July 30th. And Olivia is July 29th. So July is the most expensive month of the year for me. We always go on vacation, or usually have a vacation in July. And then the birthdays are just wild. So Eli, my nephew Eli is the 4th. I'm the 8th. My niece Maria is the 13th. Drew's the 18th. My sister Alicia is the 19th. Olivia's the 29th. Erica's the 30th. So that's 7. And I feel like I might have left one out, but that's 7 birthdays in July. And Cliff on July 3rd. So happy birthday, Cliff. I need to add you to my calendar. Only that I have your birthday on here on July 3rd. Oh, I do have your birthday on my calendar, Cliff. I could show everybody, but I don't think there's anything else in here you'll need. There you go, Cliff. Let me I need to turn off the light. So I would have seen it, Cliff. I don't know if y'all can see that. Look, right there in blue. Cliff Nelson birthday. There it is. Got it, Cliff. Also, Bo Wegman out, Brian Haldane out, Matt Moscona out, Gia Picarella out, Jimmy Brooks out. Let's take our whole staff. Your whole staff is out like every day in July. Anyway, happy birthday, Cliff. Hope it's an awesome one, man. See, it's in my calendar. When I looked at it today, I would have gotten around to wishing you a happy birthday. But I hope it's an awesome day, man. Make the best of it. Vol Navy morning from Rocky Top. Are you more excited to visit Oklahoma or UT Junior in the coming years? Go Vols. I think so this is probably not exactly the answer you'd expect. I think Oklahoma, because I'm interested to see if LSU Oklahoma can actually become a fun sort of end of the season rivalry. With Oklahoma losing Bedlam, right? And with Texas being earlier in the season, their game being earlier in the season, the Red River rivalry. LSU not having a traditional rival, and now with Texas coming back into the league, LSU's losing that Thanksgiving matchup against A&M. And they should, by the way. I mean, Texas and Texas A&M should play in that last 8. 100% they should. So I'm kind of hopeful that maybe something cool brews organically with LSU and Oklahoma in that final playing date. So I think that would be my answer. Preston back on the show today. No, Monday, July 8th. Took the whole week off. So I'll be back Monday. And by the way, everybody's off tomorrow for the 4th and Friday for the 5th. So we're all national programming 4th and 5th. Brian Broom, good morning. Tommy Primo, good morning, Matt. Back from the beach in one piece. Good morning, Matt. Got back from the beach in one piece. Ready for LSU football season start. Yeah, man, we're close. Jason H, what's going on? Good morning. Ronnie, radiation. Okay, Ronnie. Still praying for you and obviously hoping for the best, man. So keep your head up and know, man, you're in the best place in the world for it, man. So we got you, man. Eli, good morning, Matt. On some betting sites, the Saints have come down from -5.5 versus the Panthers to -4. Worrisome considering they give -3 to the home team automatically. Saints might bottom out this year. Yeah, they might. I mean, I just don't know I try to check myself so I'm not just overtly negative because you all know how I feel about Carr and Allen and everything. I want to be objective looking at the team. Objectively though, you're going to have 3 new starters on the offensive line. You might have a rookie left tackle and Trevor Penning at right tackle, and Nick Saldiveri, a second-year player, at left guard. You've got an aging running back in Alvin Kamara, who's seen his production drop the last 3 years. It's coming off the worst year of his career. I love Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed, but after that, you really don't have another proven receiving option. You don't have a great option at tight end, and Juwan Johnson, who maybe is your best pass catching tight end, is injured. Defensively, you were one of the worst in the NFL against the run last year. Cam Jordan's coming off the worst season of his career. You signed Chase Young, but he just had neck surgery. I like your linebackers with Demario Davis and Pete Werner. And I like signing Willie Gay as well. So I like your linebackers. If Lattimore and Adebo are healthy, I think you're good at corner. And at safety, Tyron's getting older, and you hope, Jonathan Abram and Jordan Howden can be a good tandem back there. But you see, you piece it all together and you're like, where's the thing that you're super pumped about on that team? Anyway. Weston Weaver, good morning. Jonathan Martin, what's up? Jacob Sonier, how many keep losing in filters? We're going to have. How many keep losing in filters? We're going to have Gavin Guidry starting and get shortstop? I think what you're saying is LSU keeps losing infielders and Gavin Guidry is going to have to play shortstop. So I don't think Gavin Guidry playing shortstop is a terrible option, because I think if he went and worked at it every day, he could be a shortstop. He's a guy that passed on $2 million out of high school to come to LSU as both a pitcher and an infielder. So as far as the physical ability, I believe he can do it, but he hasn't taken ground balls at short and played a competitive game at short, and hit consistently in 2 years, man. Like, if that's your option, that's a bad option. Now, if you want to spend every waking day from now to the start of the season just peppering Gavin Guidry with ground balls at shortstop and second base and getting him live ABs, awesome. But you'd kind of like for him to be doing that right now in the summer league. I just don't think that's a great option. We'll see. Sorry, read that one. Brian Wynn, good morning. Rocky Killian, good morning, Matt. Worst coaching exit: Schloss from A&M, Kiffin from Tennessee, Petrino from the Falcons. I think Petrino from the Falcons. He just up and left in the middle of a season and didn't even address the players. He just left a note in their locker room. So in their lockers. So yeah, Petrino mid-season of his own accord, and how he did it, by far the worst. Now, leaving your rival for your biggest rival is a big deal with the Schlossnagle thing. But I think it's magnified in football. Ethan, morning, Matt. What is with use losing so many players? Us losing 1-0 and losing, everybody 1-0 and losing. So many players in the portal. Sorry, and Ethan, it's not you, it's me. I'm incapable of seeing something like that and not saying it. We lost almost 20 players in the portal. Does Jay have a problem developing players, not giving them playing time? I think that's just part of what you're going to see now. Like, I'll keep saying this about the portal players LSU's lost. You've lost a lot of your young depth, but what production have you lost? It would be different for me if you were losing starting caliber players. Like if Ashton Larson and Steven Milam went in the portal, I'd be way more concerned. What you've lost is a bunch of guys that just didn't play, highly regarded that didn't play. And so that's the challenge. So think about back early this season when we all kind of wanted LSU to settle on a lineup and Jake kept rotating guys and getting guys innings on the mound and getting guys playing time. This is why. Because when you have that many young, talented players who are all expected to play, you got to get them playing time or this happens. So, what you've lost here is a bunch of guys who came in, were highly touted, didn't play much, and so they're leaving seeking playing time. I wish all your young talent would stay. You'd have far less turnover and you wouldn't have to work as hard to rebuild a roster. But this is just the nature of college sports now, where you have the portal and NIL, and guys can leave whenever they want. By the way, just like coaches can leave whenever they want. See Jim Schlossnagle a day after losing in the national championship series and chastising a reporter, leaves for their bitter rival, who's now coming into your conference. If coaches can do it, players should be able to do it too. So it's just a different, I know it's uncomfortable for everybody, but it's just a different way that you're going to have to build a roster. Kevin Toller trying to read between the lines with these transfers. I'm struggling with it. Are we in minor panic zone yet, or is it trust in Jay? I'll say it again. Like, who are you losing? You're losing young depth pieces, guys that haven't played. Like, I'd love for Kucherak to come back and try to win a job. But if you're Kucherak and you look around and you go, okay, well, Milam's got a spot. Braswell could be coming back. And they're recruiting Gavin Killeen, Wyatt Hensler, Caden Kent. The writing's kind of on the wall as well. They're not giving you a job. So maybe here's the thing I'll tell you, Kevin. If we wake up at the end of July and you're heading toward the fall semester and LSU hasn't gotten any infield transfers, that's a problem. That's a real problem. On the flip side, if you get Caden Kent and Wyatt Hensler and Braswell comes back and you got Milam, you're going, all right, let's roll. Now you're feeling really good about your infield. So let's see how it rolls with the portal to see who they get. I think that's probably the most important variable here is how do they finish filling out this roster. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leon Williams, morning, Matt, trying to beat the heat before fireworks tonight. Thinking about doing a seafood boil and char-grilled oysters because tomorrow's Texas barbecue. Leon, I want to come to your house, man. I want to come celebrate the 4th at your house. Oh, by the way, so our guy, Mr. Toby Tomplay, you may know, has Tomplay's Fireworks. So if you're in Prairieville, they're on Highway 42. So if you turn off of Airline onto 42, a little ways down on the right, they have the giant inflated gorilla, and that's how you can tell where they are. But go by and tell Mr. Toby Tomplay that Scone sent you in. You want to hear him sing the After Further Review or the After Further Review jingle or theme, I should say, or the
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish Built. Parish Built. Parish Built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. Where are we? Ryan, JJ struggling in the portal and losing in the portal. Think Vitello's a better recruiter. I disagree with that. I would tell you that the consensus is Jay and Vitello are the two best. The difference is Tennessee is spending money. I would say Texas A&M are at a different level than everybody right now. Tennessee and Arkansas. Arkansas is new to the real spending game, but Tennessee and Arkansas would be next. So, I mean, you can be the best recruiter in the world. You can. Okay, babe. I'm gonna get his backpack ready and everything, but I'm gonna let him sleep. That's fine. I'll have it ready. I'll have it ready. Yes. Okay. Bye. Oh, Jay and Vitello. Yeah, it just, I don't care how good of a recruiter you are. You can cut up film and tape and have the greatest visit and be engaging and personable and, you know, the hardest worker. And I'll tell you, Jay Johnson's the hardest working recruiter. I mean, he was, after LSU lost in the regional, I think he was in like 5 different cities in 6 days seeing players. So nobody is outworking Jay. I mean, Jay and Vitello would be the two. But you can put on the biggest pitch ever, and if someone comes in and drops a bag on somebody, what do you do? Let's see what's going on. What's the going NIL rate for position players? There is no going NIL rate like that, Brian. That's not exactly how it works. It's going to vary player to player and school to school, target to target. I think you'd be surprised at how low some notable players NIL get is. And then, I mean, the highest deal I heard was last year was Braden Montgomery got $750K from A&M. So 1 year outfielder got $750K. That's significant. Seth, Team America World Police. America. Yeah. Coming here to say the blue day, yeah. It's morning Scone, so there 4 a.m. I am censoring myself. Kevin, good morning from sunny Indian Beach in Galveston. All right, Kevin, hope it's a good one, man. Be well. Hey, Dad, good morning. Tell Crystal hi. I will, Dad. Hope y'all are doing awesome. Looking forward to Saturday. Prods up 96. Good morning. Kevin is jump back next year. No, 100% gone. Jump, Holman, Hurd, Ulloa, Lore. Expect all those guys to be drafted and gone. The one that you're kind of sweating is Herring to see what happens there. Draft eligible sophomore, could be drafted and signed, or could come back and try to earn a spot in the rotation. And I would tell you, missing out on Zach Root moves Herring up firmly into the rotation convo for next year. Matt Plavidal, good morning, and I get to enjoy my first holiday off since New Year's. No Amazon, got it. All right, Matt, enjoy it, man. Hope you have a great day. Kick back, relax, unwind. Michael Cook, good morning. Brett Gibbs, good morning, Matt. I hear you'll be in Lafayette next week. Veronica sent me an invite. Do you know what time you'll be there? I'd like to meet before AFR starts. Also, can I get a pair hat? Brett, remind me about the hat next week, and I will put several in my car. 100% will do that. I don't know exactly what time I'll be there, but yes, I'll be doing AFR in Lafayette Wednesday, the 10th. So a week from today. I'll be doing AFR in Lafayette at, I won't forget the address. So it's 520 Rue Jefferson, downtown. So excited about that. It's a great spot. So Delta Media owns that spot, that building, and so they have events there downtown. It's a great spot. I did when we had the launch party a year ago. Did my show there, and looking forward to very much looking forward to doing the show to celebrate 1 year of ESPN 1037 Lafayette, 1041 Lake Charles with my Delta Media friends. So we'll be there on Wednesday. All right, let's see. Please smash the like button if you would. YouTube, subscribe to the channel. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscona page or follow that profile. I know I keep mentioning that to y'all. We've changed from streaming the show on my professional page now to the profile. It's a Facebook algorithm thing. So please follow my profile. The pick is me and Erica in New York. Just hit the follow button on that page so you get notified whenever we go live. GameCube Gamer, morning, Matt. I think LSU can still make an Omaha next year with the pitching date and it from the portal in the pictures they got. Spell check, y'all. You got to help me a little bit. You got to help me a little bit with the spell check. I think LSU can yes. Of course LSU can make a run to Omaha. They would have been in Omaha this year. I mean, you blew a ninth inning lead in a regional at North Carolina with your best pitcher on the mound. You close that game, you're home against West Virginia and the Supers, and then you go to Omaha. So, yeah, of course I think LSU can make it to Omaha. They'll always be in the mix to make it to Omaha. I completely agree. Bubba, as Matt, and by the way, it ain't just me. By the way, for those who are freaking out, I'm not sure if you saw it, but D1 Baseball yesterday put out their way too early Omaha projections for next year. So each of the D1 Baseball writers picked their 8 teams for Omaha. I'm not sure if you saw this. Let me get to it. Get to it. Promise I'm going to get to it. Promise I'm going to get to it. Maybe I won't get to it. Anyway, maybe it's on Instagram. Oh, I think I added it to my story, my Instagram story. There it is. The way too early fight for 8 for Omaha. I don't know if you can see that, but every single D1 baseball writer is projecting LSU and Omaha next year. Every single one of them. Kendall Rogers, Aaron Fitt, Mike Rooney, Joe Healy, Mark Etheridge, Burt Granger, Patrick Ebert, Shotgun Spratling, Pat James, and Eric Sorensen. Every single one of them projecting LSU and Omaha next year. All of them. So sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees type of thing, maybe. Brad, good morning. Brett, July 16th. Okay. And Brett's turning 40. Okay, man. Happy birthday. It's a milestone coming up here in a few weeks. Amy, LSU baseball has been top of the sport for so long. We're kids and coaches dream to be a part of. Michael Early said on Texags to Lucci this week his dream was to be LSU's head coach. That's interesting. I believe it. I mean, I think most people who love college baseball would dream of that situation. But the money in NIL has changed things. Let's see. Kevin, I'm November 15th. Go back 9 months and yet Valentine's Day to be exact. Come on, Mom and Dad, gross. Well, that just means you were born on Valentine's Day. It doesn't mean you were conceived on Valentine's Day. It means somewhere around November, like Thanksgiving, maybe. Thanksgiving would have been like, Mom and Dad, come. Amy, are we in baseball falling behind in NIL? Yes. Yes. 2 years ago, there was nobody spending what LSU was spending in NIL when Jay got here. That has changed as other programs with deep pockets have made a commitment to spending NIL in baseball. So, yes. Ethan said, I believe LSU is going to have a hard time competing with other teams, even though NIL is getting better. Other teams are increasing NIL as well. Other teams increasing their NIL as well is part of it, no doubt. The hard time competing thing, I mean, this year you had the number one transfer class with Jump and Holman and Braswell, and some of the guys worked out and some didn't. That's going to be a natural part of the equation. But y'all got to simmer down with that. LSU's going to have a hard time competing. LSU's always going to compete at the highest level. You got a great coach who's a great recruiter. You're going to get great high school talent. You're going to get kids from this state. Like, you're going to lose players in the portal. That's part of this now. But before there's the full-on panic, can we at least wait and see who else they add? Because if in a couple weeks we circle back here and they've added White Hensler, Caden Kent, or Gavin Killeen, Matthew Dallas, like, we're going to look around and go, oh, LSU's got the number one portal class in the country. And they might. So let's calm down, okay? Like, I believe Jay Johnson has earned the benefit of the doubt to say, let's see how this guy finishes putting together the roster before we melt. Now, if the answer come fall ball is you're converting Gavin Guidry back to shortstop, and maybe you'll have like a true freshman playing third base, that could be a problem. Yeah, I would say that's a problem. Lisa, good morning, Matt. Congratulations to the 11 Tigers from the LSU swimming and diving team going to the Paris Olympics. Absolutely. A lot of Tigers competing in a lot of different sports, so congrats definitely on the swimming and diving front. Matt, Root went to Arkansas. Yes, he did. They broke him off. I think he was heavy LSU lean, and Arkansas paid. Kid took the money. It's why it's always, it's why it's when we talk about these guys being recruited, you're just not going to. I'll always throw out caveats like, yeah, he's a lean, but we'll see. You never know. It's even when we're talking about A&M's head coaching position open. I was like, Jay's staying put, but what if they come dump a big pile of money on him? I mean, there's always that component of it. So that's what it is. Club Ruckus, good morning. My friend Michael. Morning, Matt. About to head off to work. Feels as if we might be time to begin pressing the panic button until we see a Tiger tweet from Coach Jay. I'm trying to find team transfer portal rankings. Wait and see till after it's done. Like, I don't see anybody having it up right now, but and I'll look for it later. But I think my point is sometimes you get a whole bunch of commits early. Then when things slow, you start to panic a little bit. Very seldom is it just a steady as she goes process. So again, like when LSU is on fire and you get Devin Sheeran and Zach Cohen and Chandler Dorsey, you get Jacob Myers, you get all these guys in the portal and everybody's really excited. But then the counter move is that you lose guys out of the portal. Yeah, like, I mean, you want to have your cake and eat it too. Like, yeah, you're losing guys, but like, let me ask you, if your option this year was just candidly, if your option was as your closer, Aiden Moffett or Chandler Dorsey, All right, because that's essentially what you did, right? So Aiden Moffitt was supposed to be your closer, big dude, 98 right side. Moffitt this year, and again, I think Aiden Moffitt is a great arm talent, and I think he has a great future, and I wish him well. Not whenever he's playing at LSU, Texas, but I wish Aiden Moffitt well. But Aiden Moffitt this year had 16 appearances, an ERA of 5.60, 17 and 2/3 innings pitched, allowed 18 hits and 4 homers. He walked 12 in his 17 and 2/3 innings pitched. Okay, ERA of 5.6. Chandler Dorsey, who was the closer for South Florida this year, led their pitching staff with 26 appearances. Had an ERA of 3.60 through 30 innings. Again, as the closer, had 41 strikeouts in 30 innings pitched and 16 walks. So one fewer walk than Aiden Moffitt and more than double the amount of innings pitched. 41 strikeouts, ERA of 3.6. Like, if I gave you, said one of those two guys can be your closer next year, who do you want? Give me the guy that's been a closer, a college baseball closer for 2 years with, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay. I mean, would you rather Nick Bronzini, good prospect from the left side who hasn't pitched a bunch, or Jacob Myers, who, yeah, he led the country in walks this year, but he's also got freakish strikeout stuff and has pitched in regional. You see my point? It's like, yes, you're trading your young talent and your young depth, but you're replacing those guys with guys that have played more, that have pitched more, that have been on, like, you're going to be a more experienced roster. It's not the guys that you sign and you're bringing them up, but you're replacing them with better players. Now, the real question is, okay, well, Tommy White's gone at third. You're not likely going to replace Tommy White with a first rounder unless you get Wyatt Hensler to come here, who's, I'm not saying he's going to be a first rounder, but could be a 20 homer guy, was last year at Penn. Unless you get Caden Kent in, who maybe is a third year in his money year in the SEC, is a 1 year guy who blows up and has that great year. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Let's wait and see how it looks. I think you're better at catcher with Blaze Priester, and we'll see if they get Cade Aaron Beatty on campus, which it looks like they will. So I guess mostly it's just relax. Kobe Walker, Rex, what's going on? Great point about the arm talent Jay picked up. He did mention in press conference only using a certain amount of players. Tyler, morning, Matt. I've seen someone say Hurd entered the portal to free up a scholarship spot because he knew he was getting drafted. Is there any truth to that? Doesn't seem like that's how it works. That's not how it works. Baseball gets 11.7 scholarships total that they have to distribute among the entire roster. And really what's taking place now is for the guys who don't get scholarship money, or the way that they sort of supplement is with NIL. So that's not exactly how it works. Hurd entered the transfer portal to give himself options in case if something goes haywire in the draft. If something goes haywire in the draft, then yeah, and look, Hurd also had a do not contact designation. So if something goes crazy in the draft, he can return to LSU because there will be a spot for him on the roster, and you can obviously supplement with NIL if you need to, or he'll have an option to go pitch somewhere else. But Hurd is going to, it would be one of the biggest surprises of the draft if Thatcher Hurd doesn't sign a pro contract coming out of this draft. Kirk Taylor, good morning. Low Cormier, morning, sir. Sir Matt of Baton Rouge, hope all is well. Happy 4th to you as well, man. Kirk was promoted staff sergeant yesterday. Good things. There you go, Kirk. Congratulations, man. Of course, thank you for your service, man. Hope to see you this year for football season. We can raise a glass to Staff Sergeant Kirk Taylor. Congrats, man. Let's see. I got to get moving a little bit here, y'all. I'm going to see Crystal in there in 45 minutes. I need to get Erica, or I need to get Drew's backpack ready and all that sort of stuff. My mom's coming to watch him for a little bit. So I'm just going to go quickly here. Kevin, Jay wants the portal. There's a kid at Central, throw 94 from the left side, committed to Southern Miss. Jay will get that kid in year 2. That's just his focus. Amy, if NIL is the deciding factor for the top players in any major sport, in 5 years, LSU will not be a big brand. Completely disagree with that, Amy, because it's not the thing for every player. I'll remind you the number 1 player in the country for 2025, a transcendent quarterback from Michigan, is committed to LSU. Let's pump the brakes a little bit there. LSU has NIL money. They're not broke. It's just there are going to be circumstances where prospects in certain sports who only are going to the highest bidder, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose those. But that's not the case for every kid. John, good morning. There you go. Cliff, you can only choose one: grammar, spell correct when reading, or not let the neighbor's kid score in the swimming pool basketball. That's tough, Cliff. You know how to cut me to my core, expose who I am. It's probably the grammar thing, because I think deep down, letting the kids score, they'd know I'm letting them score. But the first time they trash talk me, I'd dunk them under the pool and jam in their face. Okay. All right, Amy. Amy, you got to relax a little this morning. Like the golden days, again, look at Will Campbell. Will Campbell could have gone to the transfer portal and gone to the highest bidder. He's at LSU. Like, you got the number 1 player in the country, Bryce Underwood, coming to LSU. You've signed what is right now the number 1 transfer portal class in the country. You're fine. Like, you're just not going to get everybody all the time. That's okay. Christian, someone asked a few weeks back about your mentors in sports media. Spinoff question: who'd be on your Mount Rushmore of sports media members, local or national? Christian, ask me that tomorrow. Tomorrow's 4th of July, and I got nowhere to go. So ask me that tomorrow. I'm just rushing because I do need to get rolling here. But again, let me give that some thought, and I'll answer it tomorrow. Ron Ritchie, good morning from Vegas. Looking forward to seeing you out in Vegas, Ron. We'll raise a glass, man. Hope you're doing well. Glenn, what company installed your home standby generator? We went with what was it, 3-4 years ago? Shoots did ours, and they did a great job. I will tell you that I endorse Optimize now, who I could not be more impressed with. And I would strongly encourage that you call Optimize. Got a great relationship with those folks. Was actually talking to Matthew over at Optimize yesterday. But again, Shoots did ours when was Ida? Ida was 3 years ago. So after Ida, we had it installed. But Shoots did a great job. But I'm very, very, very proud to endorse Optimize. They're the number 1 Generac dealer in Louisiana. And I like being partnered with big brands and great businesses, and Optimize is one of them. So they are 4 physical locations serving the whole 10-12 corridor from Lake Charles to Slidell, points in between. So generatorpeople.com. Oh, let's see. I got to go. 2 minutes. Joel, are you concerned about Jay's high school recruiting? No. Al, MLB has proven you can't buy a championship. I think it's hard to buy a championship in any sport. We've seen teams try to do it. Stephen Miller, good morning. New profile pic. Good morning, Stephen. Dick Tilley, happy safe 4th to you and your family. Same to you, sir. Stephen, what's the biggest thing you're looking forward to in Dallas? You know what, Stephen? I want to see, first and foremost, well, for me, it's always, I want to hear the new coaches in the league. And then what coaches I think are going to be at their final media days. I always like to guess that. But for me, it's the players. It's always the opportunity to get to meet, sit down with, interview players that I otherwise would never get a chance to, and see who stands out, who sticks for whatever reason. But that's always, and maybe that's just me, but maybe that's not what the audience so much looks forward to. But I can tell you from my perspective, that's what I most look forward to. So whenever the teams start announcing what players are going to be represented at media days, I'm really looking forward to that. Kirk, why isn't LSU spending money whose decisions have fallen? It's not that they're not spending money, Kirk. Like, you have to raise the money. And like, LSU does not have as deep a roster of prominent boosters as Texas and Texas A&M and Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas's got Walmart money and Tyson Chicken money, and Jerry Jones is a billionaire. And the FedEx people are, I know they support Memphis, but they're from Arkansas as well. Like, they've got billionaire donors. LSU doesn't. So it's just, I mean, LSU is very much in the group of the haves, but there's this group of, there's this group of like 2 or 3 that are really outspending everybody. And then the next like 10, 12, this group of the top dozen or so that are just sort of this upper crust. And then there's a group of about 30, and LSU's in that group that are all kind of comparable, but LSU's moved its way more to the top of that. But it's not that they're not spending money. Of course they are. But when LSU might have $7-8 million to spend on its football roster, and Texas is spending $20 million on its football roster, that's a very stark difference. It's a big contrast, right? Okay, I hate to do this, y'all, because I know I missed a bunch of you, and I really, really, really apologize for that. But I gotta go because I'm going to see Crystal Poche over at Restored Motions for 9. My mom's going to be here in like 5 minutes. I got to get her settled, and I got to get out the door. So I'm sorry if I missed you. Please smash the like button on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, follow the profile, all that sort of stuff. And Locked on LSU is already live. Y'all have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow for the 4th. Peace.